What's good, people? This is Sam O'Reilly. I'm obviously joined by James Lupton from Round Date, and we're delighted to be joined today by John Ryder. This is the Fight Talk podcast. How's everything going, John? You alright, mate?
Yeah, all good, thank you, mate. Just a fight week tomorrow. Start of fight week, sorry. Yeah, just looking forward to it, buzzing.
Cool. Now, obviously, it's been a mad couple of weeks, you know, over the pond last night, and last week over here in London we had the Brook Golovkin, massive major event. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched both weekends, and both fighters, they showed a lot of class, and I mean it just happens that there's in with pound for pound greats, to be fair.
You know, the Brook Golovkin fight, did it go pretty much the way you thought it would, or do you think? I mean, for me, Brook showed more than I thought he could at that weight.
I don't know. I think Brook had a lot of moments of success, but I mean, ultimately, Golovkin's power come through and showed that was the big difference. But I mean, I think Brook is world class. I think in any other era, he could probably hold his own at that weight, but with a rare breed like Golovkin, he's just going to struggle.
Of course. Now, obviously, Charlie Edwards, he was another one on that show. He performed, extremely well for such a young guy with so few fights. Another one that just turned out to be a bit too much for him, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big step up in class. I mean, I know he's had a great amateur career and boxed all around the world, but I mean, he's been boxing at domestic level, English title level, and then stepped up on like an international title, and I mean, then you step up to world level. It's hard. I mean, you've not mixed it in between in the pro game, and it's I mean, he's gonna have to. He took the chance when it came about, and fair play to him. I mean, you got to take these chances from their eyes, and I mean, he didn't. He's got a lot of credit from that, and I mean, he's gonna have to drop that down a couple of levels now, and there's good fights for him at British level, what with Selby, and just start again and build his way up again.
Yeah, of course. James, I know you was a big fan of last night's fight, Usyk.
Yeah, Usyk for me, brilliant fight last night, winning the cruiserweight world title and his 10th fight. I mean, John, did you catch that last night on Sky Sports?
I didn't actually see that fight. No, I fell asleep beforehand.
Definitely, I highly recommend it. It's a great fight. I mean, people saying, is he out of his depth? He's fighting a more experienced man. The geezer come down, he beat Marco Huck when he was looking to break the record. Usyk just walked in there, and for me, I think he lost one round of fight for me. He absolutely dominated it. Tony Bellew commentating, also obviously WBC cruiserweight title holder. You had Adam Smith commentating as well, trying to sort of say, you're going to fight Usyk, you want to fight him. And Bellew, to his credit, he's like, listen, it's not about me, it's Usyk's night. And fair play to him, he's obviously got great respect for the bloke. I think it was a great fight from last night, and then obviously following after that, like you say, over the pond, we had a couple of British over there, we had Liam Smith obviously, and the Yard also over there.
Yeah, I think Anthony Yard is he's making waves, man. I've seen him fight a couple of times, and he's explosive. His power, I think, is for me is, there's not a lot of people that are going to stand up to that. And now that he's sort of making waves over there in America in his debut, first round knockout over there, I think he's, people are going to start paying attention to him. Have you seen a lot of him at all, John?
I watched fair bits, a few bits. I know O'Hara Davis and him are good buddies, so I've always seen clips of him. I mean, I didn't see the fight on Box Nation last night. I see it on a video clip on the phone. I mean, it was weird. He must carry some serious power, because he looked like he put absolutely nothing into that left hook. And, yeah. I mean, the geezer just didn't know where he was.
Yeah, he was like asleep on the ropes, wasn't he? It was mad. It was like he was just sort of tied up in the ropes. That shot it ruined him. I think he lost his bearings and everything.
It was weird, because his reaction, and even Anthony Yardy's reaction, like he hit him with it and kind of walked away, knowing that the job was done. But it was weird how the referee gave him a count.
Yeah, so obviously going on to the main event last night, like we said, it's two fighters that have gone against two of the best. Now, Liam Smith, I mean, the difference for me with Liam Smith is it was his title that he's risked going over there against Canelo. So he was obviously confident enough. Now, it didn't, for me, he didn't implement his game plan for 1 round. For me, I didn't give him 1 round, and it's unfortunate. But do you think Canelo's just too good for that division? Light middle's it's a difficult division. There's a lot of good guys around, but for him to destroy one of the champions like that, is he just different level to the rest of them?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you've got the Charlo twins, and I mean Lara. I mean, I believe Lara gave him a good fight last time, and I mean, it's divides opinions whether you think Lara won or Canelo won. I mean, I think it's very close, and I mean, I don't know how people make it, but I mean, I really rate Liam Smith, and I think he went in there with all the intentions of implementing his style and boxing how he normally does, but I think Canelo, special fighters like Canelo and Golovkin, that they make you do things you don't want to do, and I'd say that Liam Smith will probably admit himself that he probably forced the pace a bit early on and was throwing shots that he doesn't normally throw, and was just trying to force it a bit, just because of the fact that Canelo was probably making little tricks with like little feints and with good footwork and making him throw when he doesn't really want to.
Yeah, things he probably hasn't come up against before. It was probably, you're right, he couldn't put it into. It was difficult to get his head around, wasn't it? He's not used to that kind of the footwork as good as he is, Canelo.
I mean, he's a special talent, and I mean, if anyone is going to beat Golovkin, that Canelo could be the person.
I think that fight has to happen, doesn't it?
I think, settle on the base, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
I think for Liam Smith, I think it's more, he's going to learn so much from that loss. If you look at his title defences so far, Jimmy Kelly Jr., no disrespect to him, but, him compared to Canelo, he's going to learn a lot more from losing to Canelo than he is to beating Jimmy Kelly Jr.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think that'd be the making of Liam Smith, and I believe that he will come back and he will win a world title. I mean, it'll be hard to do, but will the Charlo step up and fight someone like Alvarez, and maybe Alvarez will move up now? But I mean, Liam Smith has dared to do, and he's gone to pretty much the hometown of Canelo and had a go.
Yeah, definitely. The atmosphere was insane when it was 80,000 or something like that. It was a massive, not only a massive ask for the fight itself, but to go into that sort of atmosphere as the champ. I mean, all respect to him for that. No one expected him to. He didn't have to take that fight. He didn't have to take that fight whatsoever, and he did. And I think it just shows, the belief he had in himself. And like you say, he'll go on to bigger and better things from here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, he enjoyed the whole week of the build-up, and you see him at the press conference and the workouts, and he looked like he wasn't phased one bit. And when you look at him when he's in the ring, he didn't look like he was beaten before the fight, and he did. He went in there and did account of himself and had a go.
Right, let's talk about next Saturday. I'd tell you what, actually, before that, obviously it's just come out. It came out yesterday or the day before about Eubank Jr. Now, obviously, this is something you're going to be very interested in. He's relinquished his British title, middleweight, same as yourself. Can you get your head around this? What exactly has happened? Do you think this is cut and dry as an injury like they're making out? Or I know Frank Warren's not impressed and he's got a lot to say about it. What are your thoughts on it?
It's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, they put it down to said about injury, but I mean, is it that, or has he got a world title shot pending? Who knows?
I mean, for me, surely if it's just an injury, you postpone it, surely, like everyone else does. I mean, my initial thought was, has he got something in the pipeline? Has he had a chat with someone? Potentially he's obviously saying he wants a world title fight, things like that. That, for me, is the only reason I can see as to why he would vacate, because surely, he's saying he wants the belt outright, surely you would just postpone it.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be something like that. And, obviously, not only Eddie Hearn at Matchroom, we know Frank Warren doesn't like working with the Eubanks. It was only because Tommy Langford's his fighter and he won the purse bid. So, I don't know. Do you think is he now going to have to look for promotion abroad? I don't know. Has he burnt all his bridges over here?
I don't know. I mean, he might be hard work to deal with, and I'm sure his dad was hard work to deal with, but he does bring a lot to the table, doesn't he? And in the day, he brings you in figures, and he sells a show. So there's always going to be interest in working with him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's definitely a special talent, and he'll go a long way with the right guidance, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always that thing of like, is Al Heyman in the frame, or has he spoke to like an American fighter? But I don't know. It is just weird the way it come about, unexpected.
Yeah, very much so.
No, where does it leave Tommy Langford on the 22nd? Will he still fight for a British, do you think, or will it be he'll still have a fight then, and then it'll be now sort of mandatory, and then maybe the winner himself and Jack Arnfield will step in and fight him, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I know that Lee Markham won a British title eliminator in his last fight against Joe Manander, so I don't know whether I think they're going to have the rematch, but I mean, now what with Eubank vacating and I have to say Langford's in line, maybe they'll get Lee Markham to step up and fight on the 22nd and fight for the title then.
Definitely, a lot of options floating about. Now, we're moving on to this big card that you're involved in on Saturday night. There's a big fight between Crolla and Linares. How's everything with you going? Training wise, preparation. It's a big fight against a guy that's he's well thought of like yourself, and it's a big. I think it's a big domestic fight. I know it's for an international title, but this is one that really a lot of British boxing fans are looking forward to. How's everything going with it?
Yeah, I mean, training's been good. I'm always in the gym. I'm always keeping fit, so it's not an issue. But it was nice. I mean, I got the call about 5 weeks ago before the fight, and it was I was a bit in no man's land. Didn't have a date confirmed, and was looking towards the Glasgow bill, but wasn't sure. Then, I mean, the manager rang me, and there was kind of options of fighting Jack Arnfield or fighting an Italian, and I thought, you know what, on a big show in Manchester, nothing gets the juices flowing like a domestic clash, do you know what I mean? And there's not always interest in fighting for an opposition, but I mean, Jack's from Blackpool. I mean, not far from Manchester. It'll be more like going to his hometown. So it's definitely get me up for the fight.
You mentioned earlier, obviously, fight week as of tomorrow. You said earlier, Baz and Free, what's it like as a fighter in the build-up to fight week? Obviously, you got your weigh-ins, your press conferences, your workouts. What's that like building up to it as a fighter?
The nightmare, really. From the last week, I've just wanted it to be fight night. Do you know what I mean? You're doing things now where you're not going to get no fitter, you're not going to get no stronger. It's just that maintaining, re-energising yourself, and just putting the plan into action. So it's just you end up becoming your own worst enemy. Do you know what I mean? Overthinking things and driving yourself mad.
Too much time on your hands then after, like you said, the hard work's done.
Yeah, so pretty much all you do now is just hovering around your weight, not eating too much, and just being sensible and thinking about the fight.
How is your weight? Do you have to cut, or do you make it relatively easy, or?
I have to be sensible. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big lad for the weight, but I'm not height wise, just very very muscular. But I have to be careful, and I can't have too many treats.
No cake, no birthday cake.
No birthday cake whatsoever.
Now, talking about you being a big lad, where did this nickname come from? I think it's a great nickname, the Gorilla. Where did that come about?
Years ago, I was sparring down it was the Lennox Lewis gym in Hackney, and I was sparring a couple of Rob McCracken lads at the trend then by Rob McCracken, like Lee Meager and Billy Cochran and Lenny Dawes, right? I mean, I was 16, 17, and Rob McCracken said to me, like, you're so strong, you're like a baby gorilla. And ever since the moment he said that, it stuck, and people just always, the gorilla, and then it's just can't seem to shrug it off, no matter how much I try.
Now, we mentioned obviously you are fighting on the undercard of Crolla Linares. I mean, the main event itself is huge, but I mean, even on the undercard, you've still got some great fights. You've got Conor Ben featuring on the undercard, Isaac Lowe's on the undercard. What's it like to be part of a big match from Conor? I know you say, obviously Arnfield's almost like a local lad, big domestic dust-up. What is it like being involved in such a big part of boxing history, I suppose?
It's great, I mean, because I think Linares is a great boxer, he's a great name, and I've been lucky. I was on the undercard of him versus Mitchell, and I mean, obviously I was training partner with Mitchell at the time and didn't go his way that night, but Linares is a great fighter, so it's great to see him live. Do you know what I mean? And, I mean, it'll be great to watch him against Crolla. I mean, Crolla's been defying the odds for a while now, and it's great to see him in these defining fights. And even the undercard, there'll be some great little scraps in the undercard. I know Ken Johnson's fighting for the Commonwealth title, and I don't know if Isaac Lowe's opponents pulled out now, and I think that's been changed, but I mean, there's going to be some great little scraps in there, and it's the ones that you don't think that are further down the bill, and they end up being right good little tear-ups.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, yours is a widely touted fight. Like I said earlier, a lot of us are looking forward to this. How do you see it going, and what's the plan? How do you win this fight?
Just by outwork, I think. I don't want to give too much away. We've got a little plan in place, but I believe I've got the beating of him. I believe that I've got the tools to beat him. I've seen him. I respect him as a fighter. He's a big lump. He's 6'2". He's got a bit of height on me, but I mean, everyone's normally a bit taller than me, so I deal with it. But I'm just looking forward to it, getting in close and working him.
Yeah, you've got quite a few more knockouts on your record than him, so I'm sure if you get in there, get close enough, and get your work done, you can make it a tough fight for anybody out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge. I mean, let him know he's been in the fight and just make it a good night of boxing and get the win. Ultimately, it's just the most important thing is just to get the win.
Definitely take that win home. How do you see the Crolla-Linares fight going then? Obviously, it's a fight that, he fought Kev Mitchell and it was a tough... I think, if memory serves me, I think Kev Mitchell might have dropped him quite early on. But
I think third or fourth round, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember.
Dropped him.
Yeah, it was a tough fight, and Kev Mitchell's a tough guy, but Linares is, he's widely thought of. Do you think Anthony Crolla can do him?
Listen, you can't write Crolla off anymore. You know what I mean? Against in the Borso fight, it looked like he was getting beat, and then he soaks up so much, and then comes back and knocks him out, and you think like, where'd that come from? So I will never go against Crolla again as long as I live.
Tremendous heart, tremendous.
Yeah, massive heart. And I mean, it's just to find the odds now. You look at where he was a couple of years ago, and would he box again? And I mean, he's back up in the biggest fight of his career, and well within reach of winning it.
Yeah, it's an incredible story where Crolla's come from to now. I mean, obviously it's for the ring belt, it's for the number one spot. But I mean, there's still always talk about Crolla and Flanagan, Battle of Manchester, red versus blue. I mean, how important is it that fight gets made to British boxing?
Oh, it's massive, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy that it's like me, world champions, but I think they've been all together, didn't they? I mean, what was I read under they're from the town? It's crazy. So just for the city, in Canelo, do you know what I mean? It'd be a great event, and it can't pass up. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Kerry Flanagan's got a few tough mandatories, I think, out there. So you never know how that's going to go. But he's another one. He's just been defying the odds and getting the wins and doing so well.
Yeah, he has. He came from under the radar as well, I think, Flanagan. And look, obviously, where he didn't get as much exposure, he sort of won the world title, and then he's gone around and defending his title, and people are still talking about putting him in a big fight, because I don't think he's really been in a fight yet that's captured everyone's imagination. So I think for him, more so than Crolla, I think he needs the big fight, and there won't be any bigger than that one for them two guys.
No, yeah, huge fight. Just think that'll be a city divided as well. And it'll go beyond the football thing. It'll just like areas, and it'll be a great fight. I mean, you'd probably have to put that in a football stadium.
Yeah, you probably would do. Probably would. You're right. It would get the football fight. It would be more than a boxing match, wouldn't it? It would be areas. It would be your postcodes, what colour you are. It'd be everything. It's one of them fights that British boxing needs to make. There's a lot of fights that need to be made, and that's definitely one of them.
Down in Old Trafford, 76,000 people certainly watching it.
Yeah. Carl Froch, it'd be just under Carl Froch. They'd be happy. He wouldn't have had his record broken, I think.
Oh no, he's still banging on about that. Don't worry.
He loves it, doesn't he? So what's the plans, John? Get this fight won. Get your W. Where's the next step? You know, what are you 28 now? Is it?
Yeah, it is. I take one fight at a time. I mean, I've done it in the past where I look beyond fights, and I mean, against like Nick Blackwell, I was looking at that fight thinking it's going to be an easy win for me, and look what happened there. Do you know what I mean? I end up with egg on my face. So never look past the fight, never look past an opponent now.
Nah.
Every fight could be your last. So just get this win. That's the most important thing, and then just sit down with the team, and then to see where we go from there. But I mean, I'd obviously like to be as busy as possible, get back out again before Christmas.
Yeah. You mentioned Nick Blackwell. Him and Billy Joe Saunders, your only two professional losses. Now, how do you rate? You know, Billy Joe Saunders now world champion, but he hasn't got round to defending it. You know, I know he's calling out Golovkin like a lot of people. Do you think it's a realistic? You know, if he got a Golovkin fight, is Billy Joe good enough to test Golovkin?
I really rate Billy Joe. I mean, he does what he does really well, and he's a world class boxer. But I mean, against Golovkin, I don't think that's enough. I think it could end up going quite similar to how it went with Brooke. I mean, maybe how it went with Liam Smith and Canelo. I mean, I think he'll do well on his feet. He's got great footwork. I think he'll do well early on. He's got quick, nice loose hands. I think he'll be pinging Golovkin with a jab early on and be having some early success. But I just think ultimately Golovkin's footwork, he'll trace you down, he'll cut you off, and he'll just whack him into the body, whack him into your head. I think it's just so hard to keep him off.
Yeah, he don't take a backward step, does he, Golovkin? Even when he's getting caught, like I remember Brooke caught him with this uppercut, it sort of lifted him off his feet a couple of inches, but he literally, it doesn't bother him. He just keeps stepping forward, and he's an animal. It's going to take someone really special to stop him, I think.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast. So just at middleweight, I don't know if anyone has got all the attributes. I mean, you look at Lemieux, who could punch. I mean, you see Golovkin's smart side there. He didn't take much, but he landed loads. And I mean, is there anyone at middleweight that could really bother him?
Only one person for me can beat Golovkin, and that's if Golovkin moves up and faces Andre Ward, which I don't see Golovkin moving weights, to be fair.
It's too big.
That's it, yeah. I mean, it's no longer the one weight, is it? It's two weights up now. That's the big question. Would he go up to light heavyweight?
Yeah, it's got to be too much. I think the jump's too big there. I think it's gone. I think, you know, people talk De Gale. Maybe he's a smart boxer, but can he avoid the power for 12 rounds? De Gale, no matter how good he is, he puts it on you, doesn't he? And you know, whether he steps up to super middle is another thing. Whether he wants to, you know, at the end of the day, it's his division. So he may want to step up. He doesn't. I don't think he needs to. He's still got the pulling power at middleweight, hasn't he? It's not something that he necessarily has to do. He might want to do it to test himself. So I think time will tell with that one. But I want to see the Canelo Alvarez and Golovkin fight. I want to see that happen.
Yeah, I think that's a fight that needs to happen. Cause I think even Canelo yesterday was saying that his future's probably at 160. So I think, I mean, he spoke that Golden Boy offered the fight to Golovkin. So I mean, there's going to be some needle there. So I think ultimately the fight's going to have to happen.
Yep, certainly. Time will tell on that one. Well, what's the final word out of you, John? What can we expect Saturday night? Is it live on Sky? You know, big fight, big show. What can we expect from you?
Yeah, I think we're live on Sky. I think Chief support. Just watch it. I'm going to give it my all. Just try and entertain the crowd, but ultimately just get the win and just come out, both of us stay safe and just with a good win under my belt.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to it myself. James, anything else you want to add to John?
No, all from me is really best of luck, John. Yeah, like you say, hopefully both men stay safe and every fight on the night. And yeah, like I say, best of luck, John.
Lovely, thanks a lot, James.
100%. Thanks for coming on the Fight Talk podcast, John.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks a lot, mate.
Good luck, mate. Ta-da.